And we are live, I think. Hey-o. I think we're live. Yeah. Hey, welcome to our first test of our new setup. Welcome to our first test setup. What would I even say here? What do I usually say? Welcome to another virtual happy hour. But welcome to our first virtual tasting. I'm your gracious host, Doug Blank. I also got Tom, a.k.a. Tomothy, with me to give me a helping hand. So essentially what we're going to do right now is just work out the kinks with all this, get the angles right, and if everything sounds good and looks good, this will be our new setup for our virtual happy hours, and we'll do more, like I just said, virtual tastings. So, a lot going on out there. Freaking. Oh, look. A checkbook. That's exactly where that should be. I do remember putting it there now. But sometimes you have to jog your memory, and it's not the best way you want to. I had another notebook, but that was behind you. So, man, Tom and I were just talking about everything that's happening in Beirut. That is freaking awful and terrifying and scary. Thanks, Tom. And good vibes going out to them. And then freaking Marty, you hear about Marty freaking Jannetty or whatever? Well, you wouldn't know this. You're too young. Tom's too young to know about Marty Jannetty. So there's something called wrestling, professional wrestling. But when he was a part of a tag team called the Rockers. Do you remember Shawn Michaels? Is that something that you wouldn't be familiar with either? No, okay. And so Shawn Michaels is, the Heartbreak Kid, HBK? No? The worst half of the Montreal Screwjob? No? Damn. All right, Tom. Well, with that said, whatever. He was a professional wrestler, and he is known to be on his tag team, a partner of a tag team called the Rockers. It was him and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels grew to be like of legendary status in the wrestling realm. So from San Antonio, Shawn Michaels is. I don't know where Jannetty's from, but anyways, Jannetty apparently made a post on Facebook today or the day before about essentially admitting to murdering somebody. And it was and the reason he did this was to express his heartbreak over a woman. And I'm just did anybody else just see this? And it's like viral now. It's like huge. So I hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope you're all wearing your mask. Everybody's tying their shoelaces, one step at a time. You don't want to trip over those bad boys. And I am really excited to have this whole thing. So we wonder what we're testing. I got my whole entire podcast set up, and I finally figured out a way to tie it in to the Facebook Live that we use to entertain you guys every Friday. And essentially, if you can't tell, like, the quality of sound is above and beyond what it has been, especially like just us using the phone with a mic that I borrowed from my sister and never gave back to her. Shout out to my sister Diana. I have not forgotten about that. And yes, I am using your tripod still. So I assure you I will get this back to you or get you new ones, whichever one comes first. Just let me know when you need it. I'll get it back over to you. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And let's see if we get some of the sound. This board's pretty fun. You can do like sound bites and stuff like that. So like, well, these are all songs. They're my songs though. So let's see if it works. Nope, not working. Or maybe it is. If y'all hear music, please leave a comment. Hey, Wally, thanks, man. Try raising them up. Oh, okay, thanks, man. You saying for visual or for sound? Yeah, just let me know. I'll keep on looking over here and reading the notes, and I will try what y'all definitely work with y'all suggestions. This mic's a little loose, but whatever. So yeah, so this is what it looks like when I podcast. No music, noted. Thanks, guys. So the music won't work on this board. That's good to know. That's good to know, Tom. I am trying. Just so you know, I am drinking a St. Arnold's original dry cider. I have never had it before. I just had my first sip, and I'm not the biggest cider fan. And I kind of just, I guess the face I made, Tom was like, not good. I don't know, but it's not bad. I just don't drink much cider. It's dry, that's for sure. I mean, it lives up to its name. But I mean, it's like dry is kind of a weird thing to me because just because something is dry doesn't mean like, or well, excuse me, dry. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm getting confused with bitter. When people are like, oh, it's bitter, they think that means it's not sweet. But we absolutely know, like a lot of Amaros are extremely bitter, but what ties it all together? The sugar. So it's bitter and sweet. So bitter and sweet kind of actually go really well together. Dry meaning not as sweet, so it should have a higher alcohol content. What you think? It is gluten free, so if you guys are trying to get a buzz on, but not get whiskey drunk or liquor drunk, this is a great. Yeah, why not? Do you not have to have ABV on these cans? Oh, 5.9. Oh, so yeah, that's definitely. I guess that kind of plays into it being dry. Yeah, man. So I'm happy that that sounds good out there for you guys because the past 16 episodes of our virtual happy hour, granted, they've sounded better than I anticipated, but now hopefully they're just going to sound like way, way better, and especially when we upload them to YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, everybody watching this, please go check out our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search my name, Doug Blank, pop right up, subscribe, watch the videos, leave a comment, let us know that you're, we appreciate the support. And also, you're on my Facebook, so we're already friends. But if you want to go to my Instagram, DougFresh85, I would love to. I put a lot of this stuff on there as well. And then, and I just started my new podcast, A Spirits Guide with me, Doug Blank, available on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. So please take some time and go check that out. A matter of fact, something that I want to talk about is the first episode, which is about Old Granddad Bonded. And I have a bottle right here. So in a little bit, we're going to try this out and just do a quick tasting, give you guys some notes on it just so we can go, and then you can go and listen to the podcast and get more information from that. So essentially, it's just like the podcast, The Spirits Guide. It's me just pulling some of my favorite bottles, things I don't see my back bar going without, just trying them, giving you some notes, giving you some history about the bottle, and just why I love it so much. And then I leave it off with the final thoughts. So it's essentially a narration of me just talking about the bottle as passionately as I possibly can. Anybody out there having a drink? Daryl, you drinking? Wiley, you having a drink? More dynamic. Looks great. Oh, thanks, Mark. Thanks, Wiley. Appreciate it. Thanks for the shout out, Mark. It's good to see you, man. Even if it's just through a comment on Facebook, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope that you and your family are safe and doing stuff and all that kind of stuff. Duh. You forgot to put a G at the end of that. Duh. Doug. Rum. Heck yeah, Daryl. The second episode of A Spirits Guide is actually about one of my favorite rums, Rum Fire. So go check that out. I would talk to you more about the Rum Fire, but I drank it all. But if you're wondering, when you listen to the episode and a lot has to do with the label, this is the label. This is it. So I think I keep on looking at the camera and there's a latency, meaning that it's about 5 seconds behind what I'm doing. So what y'all see me doing, I have a little bit of a time delay, a latency. So when I'm looking back over here, making sure y'all are seeing what I'm talking about, it might just be a little awkward. No big deal. So Friday, though, Friday is Tom's last day in Cuero. Tom's last day in Cuero. He's going to go and do, and instead of sitting around in Cuero, he's going to go sit around College Station. Are they letting y'all into the school? One class in person. Well, I mean, that's better than no class in person. How many?
Of 6.
Of 6 people?
No, 1 of 6 classes.
Oh, 1 of 6 people. I mean, 1 of 6 classes he has in person. So he's going back to, oh, nice. Wiley drinking martinis. That'd be a good, when it gets colder out, we'll do a martini virtual happy hour for sure. And maybe do a tasting like this about gins and martinis. Maybe if this works out, if you guys like this, just like a weekday, just spend some time together and talk about some bottles and things like that. Not necessarily building cocktails, but just having conversations, Q&A kind of thing. Let me know. We'll do this more often. But anyways, Tom is leaving for College Station. There is a college over there called A&M. Is that really what it is? Just Texas A&M?
University.
Texas A&M University? That's wild. Texas Agriculture and Music? Mechanical. But y'all have a great music. Don't y'all have like a music program there too that's like kick-ass or something like that? Or y'all's marching band is awesome or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I'll tell you, yeah. So Tom's leaving. And to celebrate Tom getting out of here, going back to Aggie Land, gig 'em. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tom, I don't know much about colleges. So this Friday, we're going to put Tom behind the bar. He's going to do a drink that he's been working on. And our whole theme this Friday is pineapple. So it's all pineapple. There's going to be pineapples everywhere. This place is going to reek of pineapple. I love pineapple. I might get a tattoo of a pineapple one of these days. Who can say? Pineapple is you know what it symbolizes? Hospitality. So we're going to get Tom behind here and show him some love and send him off in style. And then, yeah, he's going to go back up there and we'll see him at the holidays, I guess. So I've been to College Station maybe 2 or 3 times my entire life. Oh, Tom, somebody's out here saying gross, hook 'em.
I see it.
Yikes. Oh God, he's a grown man, Tom. Don't worry about it. So I went once and I had a pretty damn good time. I was in my mid-20s maybe, but I went with my good friend, Trey. Trey graduated from there. He took me to a football game there, and it was a blast. I had the best time ever, and that's the only time I ever went. It was such a good memory, I decided to never go back. But I also went to Bryan to play a show, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my career as a musician. It was like one of the last straws for me to be like, I need to get a real job. Seriously, I drove my van up there, and Agriculture Mechanical. Oh my God, what is going on, guys? Come on. This is a Facebook feed, not a porn thread. God dang. So I got in my van, I drove all the way up there, and it was a place called Stafford Theater. I don't know if you've ever been to Bryan. I don't know if is that like relatively close?
Oh yeah, it's the same. It's just an extension of
Okay.
College Station is an extension of it.
Okay. So Bryan's the actual like Townstead?
No, there's 2.
Okay.
But they're like the same.
Gotcha. So I went, and I've never I walked in. It was a really cool, beautiful building called Stafford Theater. And I went in, and there was nobody there. And they booked me. So I drove up there, and it was just me. And there's another band that opened. They were traveling too. And I looked around, single flyer, nothing. I'm like, oh my God. And then I was just like, so I went and played for just the 2 other people that were in the band or their solo project, and I just played for them in this huge ass theater. And I went to the owner. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's it. He's like, yep. I'm like, think you can throw me some bones? Think you can pay me a little? And he's like, I don't know what you want, like $20. I'm like, sure. Yeah. Just drove 2 hours to play for nobody that I didn't anyways. And so I never been back. I actually went to another bar after that and ended up meeting some cool people, but it seemed like a cool town. That's my experience in that part of the Texas. Stafford Theater, that's right. Why are they going off on you, dude? That's messed up. They don't even know who you are. Tom's my friend. Y'all leave him alone. Tom did a great job here at the Hardwood. It's too bad that everything happened. We had to shut down twice. But, whatever. Everybody's in this together. And no, I am not involved in some weird lawsuit to sue the state TABC because they shut the bars back down. It seems like a waste of time. So, for anybody that's wondering, So yeah, I was showing Tom this video of that Beirut explosion, and it's like this beautiful bride, and she has this gorgeous gown on, and it just seems like something that would come out of a damn like movie, like something out of like a high budget film. And then the bomb goes, oh my god, it's like really upsetting. So again, good vibes sending out that part of the world. That is terrifying, terrible, all the bad words that describes that emotion. I don't even know when I started this. How long have we been live for?
Probably like 15.
Oh, it says right there. 15 minutes, Tom. Yeah, that's pretty good. Stafford Theater. Let's see if anything else is going on. Just a couple grown men just hashing it out about Aggies and... No, they were. Daryl's drinking rum. I only imagine what kind of rum he's drinking. I got some cool rums over here. This is a really good overproof rum as well. Rum Bar, Jamaican white overproof. Let's check this out sometime as well. Especially, this is available all over the place, but not necessarily around this area yet, but I'm sure you can get it. And Rum Fire will be available sooner than later, I can only imagine, in the area. All of our bottles that supply the hardwood in our virtual happy hour come from Ranch House Spirits, and that is just on the other side of town, not even, a couple blocks away. And it's 202 East Broadway, Crowell, Texas, 77954. If you have any questions about their products, just give them a call or just reach out to me, and we can figure it all out. They do a really great job of supplying us with the bottles we ask for. They go above and beyond to make sure that we are able to create an amazing experience for our guests, and couldn't do without them. So shout out to them. And again, they fuel the virtual happy hours every Friday, live at 5. And this Friday is about pineapple. And yeah, that's about it. Good luck, Tom. Was nice to have met you last time. In Cuero, Giggle. Nice. Oh, so you did meet Wiley.
Oh.
Yeah. The cool dude. Cool dude Wiley? Cool guy named Wiley? Not too many Wileys coming around. That's a cool name. Wiley, if you're watching, what is that like a family name or is it a nickname? How's that work? So halfway through this can, I get it. I always liked their freaking logo. I always thought that was pretty cool. St. Arnold's is the first microbrewery in Texas. Is that what it is? Something like that.
They aren't a microbrewery anymore.
Yeah, and I guess they're like macro brewery. Isn't that what it is?
Just craft, maybe.
All right, isn't it like craft or micro to craft?
Yeah.
Or is it craft to micro?
I think micro is like when they don't can or anything.
Gotcha.
It's like you can take up a growler or something or drink it there.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I think that craft is like where they do canning. But they might even be bigger than that now.
Wiley, it's a family name for Wiley. The name Wiley's family, and he is the fourth, and he's the fourth. That's awesome. So anybody wondering about the hardwood? We're still closed. The Texas government just has a tight grip on the 51 Reds, which meaning a bar. So, and we don't sell. We're a bar that happens to have good food. I would like to make it the other way just throughout the pandemic, but that's just going to take a tremendous amount of money along with effort, which is fine, which I'm totally about, but it's more on the money aspect. So we're kind of just, looks like we're just laying low until everything loosens up and we can start getting people in again, because the to-go cocktails are just not sustainable for a bar like us in small town Texas, when somebody can just go over to the liquor store and just grab a bottle, and save their money as well. It's hard for everybody out there right now. So completely understandable. I'm in a really good situation in the sense of that the building it's not going anywhere. The paintings aren't coming off the walls. We're not painting the room white. We're not putting it up for rent. It's just as of now, we just don't have any idea when we're opening back up. It was bittersweet to see it open back up for like a short month and a half, and then shut back down or whatever again. We had a scare with, kidding with you, Tom. A&M, respectful school. Craft, micro, macro. Oh, God. Here we go. It says craft, micro, macro, all based on volume. Noted. I sold. Time to finish the Oyster Camino. I sold the Camino. I sold the El Camino, man. Times were tough, and put all my focus into the hardwood. But I mean, I could bring it back, and I actually wanted to do it in a different type of car this next time, something different. But yeah, my passion for booze, it spills into oyster as well. That'd be fun to talk about oysters one of these times as well. Cool. This is fun, man. I haven't. This is a whole system. It's called an OBS. I've always known about it. I've never just when I went to when I just being around people that do things like this. I've never done it on my own, but I'm quite impressed with everything going on. Just practically not free by any means, but like it's quite affordable, you know. If you guys have any questions, want to start your own stream or do something with higher quality with just your phone, reach out to me. You send me a message, I'll help you guys out. It's we're all in this together again, and if y'all want to have some fun and do something like this, let me know. I'll do my best to help you get started up. Taurus wagon. Hey, what's up, Wesley? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Taurus wagon. I love that. you know what a Ford Taurus is, Tom? Okay. You did. Tom's a young buck. You want to get into this whiskey? Let's go ahead and do it. Take our time with it. So, Granddad Bonded. If you go to the podcast, The Spirits Guy with Doug Blank, it's a tremendous amount of detail, but this is a bonded bourbon. Essentially means it's going to be aged. All the grains, 51% corn. It's 51% corn. It is 10% malt. Yeah, my notes are right here. So it's so it's 63% corn. Excuse me, 27% rye, 10% malt. And as you can see, that beautiful dark honey color comes from the barrel. And so a bottle and bond, it's pretty much just guaranteeing the people that they are getting what the distillery says it is. And this is going to be all the grains are harvested and distilled in the same fermented and distilled in the same season. They're aged in brand new charred American oak barrels. And it's very important to say American oak. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll find out why. And then it's aged for the minimum of 4 years in a federally bonded rick house, which is a warehouse for barrels full of alcohol, essentially, but most specifically, most known whiskey and bourbons. And that's like the nitty gritty. And it can be no higher or lower than 100 proof. There's definitely a lot more rules to it than that. But this bottle's less than $30, so super affordable. High in, yeah. So give it a shot. Oh, hear that? Do about a half ounce pour, maybe an ounce and a half pour, whichever comes first. Wait for this lag.
You can't see the whole bottle. It's like half of the bottle. There you go.
How about that?
Maybe move it this way.
This way?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. We need to get some chalk and put and circle around the legs, and then we'll put some tape markers and stuff up here too.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's check out that color. Has a green hue to it. Oh, I wonder where that's coming from. No, but it's definitely. Let's see if we got any. You got any comments, Tom? Oh, Wiley's just sending us a tremendous amount of information. Thanks, buddy. So yeah, if y'all have any questions about macro versus microbrew, check out the comments. Wiley just left the link to check it out. Now we'll definitely for justbeerapp.com. I'll check it out. Yeah, that's where we just decided. We just said that, Wiley. So we will definitely get that going. Tom's out to chalk up the floor and stuff so the tripod stays in this position for this stuff. Ooh. I can't forget there's that lag. I got to remember that too, Tom. Two-Tom. Well, if isn't Tommy Two-Tom? Two-Tom? Tom, a.k.a. Tom, a.k.a. Tomothy, a.k.a. Two-Tom? Hey. Tommy Two-Tone? I don't know. I don't like Tommy. I like Tommy. I don't like Tommy for you. All right, so yeah, definitely a dark honey in color. Super viscous. You can see that it's 100 proof alcohol just by the legs or the fingers, how slowly it runs down the glass and how plentiful it is. That just definitely says that it has high alcohol. Whew. And definitely on the nose. It is hot. So the reason you want to, so this is that Glencairn glass in the podcast you're referring to. This is like, so a glass tells you how to hold it and and it tells you how to drink. So this mouth is super small. That's for your nose to get in there and just keep your mouth open when you taste. And that's just to allow you to get the full expression. And so when you get in there, the first time if it's hot and meaning a lot of alcohol, just keep on going. Give about five tries and be patient. Do not force yourself to find something. Don't think you have to taste like the person next to you. So let the whiskey talk to you. And you can even use generic terms like it's bold, it's high in alcohol. That's fair to say. It's, obviously there's corn going on. The bourbon is classic for vanilla, and all those flavors come from the barrels being leached out, especially like these high proof alcohols. Of course, they get a tremendous amount of flavors and textures from the grains, the corn, the rye, and the malt, but they're going to get most of their flavors from the actual barrel. And with that char going on and just being in them for 4 years and being rotated and changed, like they move them to the top to the bottom of the rick house depending on temperature and things like that. So there's a lot going on, and then a lot evaporates out, which is what's referred to as the angel's share or even the devil's cut, whichever kind of personality you are. Use which one you will. And so I have it like that. And of course, baking spices, which you find a lot in bourbons, and most certainly like a smoky leather tone. The smoke isn't actually as pronounced as you would think in a high alcohol bourbon with a bunch of flavors and things like that, but most certainly there. So
the rum fire with the smoke. You're like, this doesn't smell like smoke.
Oh yeah, and I've never picked that up. And then right when you said that, I was like, oh God, now it smells like smoke. Lost audio. How about now? Huh. It shows the audio is working on the system. If anybody else has lost audio, please let me know. We'll mark it on the time stamp. Mark left housedistillery.com. Check that out. Very mixable. Noted. Lost audio. Is the audio on? Tom? Tom?
No, I have it. I've got audio.
Okay, good. What's up, Caroline? Guys, Caroline, they just joined the comments. Go check her out at Luigi. She does live streaming for Animal Crossing, and she is on all the time. It is wonderfully entertaining, and she does an amazing job, and I'm so proud of her. Oh, thanks, Sarah. All good, Mark. I hope it comes back. So that's what we talked about. We got the smell out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and upload this to YouTube as well. So we're going to see how, and then so I can go back and watch it and see how it goes and stuff. Because, I love watching myself. Matter of fact, I don't really care for myself too much. I have self-loving issues. Just kidding. Getting better at that. So, loud and clear. Thanks, Wiley. Okay. So, when we open this, so you swirl to open it up, get that alcohol out. We do have a little bit more to add to it in the sense of to help it open up. So I just took a sip of that cider and my palate was just where it needed to be. Way to go, Dougie. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. It's called drilling. I won't do it. I'll stop. So that's very hot. So we're going to have to try it again. So we try something that has a lot of heat to it. You want to give it another shot because now you know it's going to be hot. You know it's going to be burn, but a good burn because it's made well. But now you know to look past that. So what else is going to happen? Again, let the bourbon tell you what it has going on. Don't force yourself to have to taste certain things just because somebody else said it. Yep. So it's sweet, and it definitely has that corn that you would expect in a bourbon. Has some a lot of baking spice going on, like dried flowers, some dried fruit. It is definitely has that spicy rye going on. It has a creamy mouthfeel from the high alcohol content and the viscosity coming from that, but as well as the small amount of malt that puts in there. Kind of think about the mouthfeel of a Whopper or a malt flavored or malt style candy. And it most certainly has like honey going on, and then the leather that we spoke about on the nose. Pretty much everything that comes from that leather, from the nose, is absolutely on the palate as well, just a little bit more in depth. Has like some pepper going on, cinnamon for sure. That's all in when I say baking spices, it's kind of it's a broad term, like the nutmegs, cinnamons, the clove, the allspice. Like that's just, just think about that as a baking spice. Like you bought it pre-made, like a baking spice, Does it make sense? It's kind of like this with like pumpkin pie would actually be fantastic. This is like, for me, this would be more of a dessert bourbon neat. It could, because all those high sugars from a dessert and all those everything, so it'll cut through really well especially with the high alcohol content. But this is actually, if that's not how you like to drink, if you need a little tame it down a bit, great in any cocktail, high proof, so it cuts really well through simple syrups and fresh juices, but most certainly an old fashioned. This is our house selection, and this is what we use to make our house old fashioned. And if you listen to the podcast, Spirits Guy Doug Mike, we go into detail about that old fashioned. I give the recipe out on there, so go check it out and let me know what you think and give me some thoughts on that as well. And then let's see what's going on in here. Pie spice. That's right. That's weird. I was just talking about pumpkin pie, and then somebody threw out there, and then Mark threw out their pie spice. Oh, that sounds dope with pumpkin pie. I know, right? Caroline, I'm so happy that you're watching. Give me some of your thoughts later, and let me know if you think this is something that we should keep on doing, something I should do more often. Hey, Jolie. What's up, girl? It's good to see you, buddy. I wish we talked more. I wish I talked to you earlier today. I did. Joel and I also have a podcast out there called I Didn't See It, But I Believe You. Just put up a new episode. So go check that out. It's going to be, I don't recommend it, but if you guys want to get lost in some weird stuff, check it out, I guess. Sorry, Joel, I hope you're doing well. Okay, so this is water, or is it vodka? You would never know in the virtual realm. No, it's water. So to these high alcohol contents, you always hear somebody add a splash of water and they don't ever really say why. What it's doing is taming down the alcohol. So, and that's going to it's going to allow these flavors that I'm speaking of to kind of like showcase even more. Some people say that you shouldn't add anything to a bourbon and you should just drink it neat. I get it. But the main rule for drinking, especially when it comes to, thank you, Caroline. Noted. But, something that you want to, but the main rule to drinking whiskey in particular, well, anything really, drink how you like to drink. If you want to put a splash of Coke in there with some ice, go for it. I like a good whiskey Coke, and this is actually a great bourbon to do whiskey Coke with, and because it shines through, like the bourbon is still allowed to do its thing. Is that you? Oh, that's a siren. I hope everybody is okay out there. So, but this is a great way with these high proof bourbons to get those flavors, tame them down. That was a pretty big splash, but whatever. This is going to give it's going to tame down that alcohol and allow all those flavors to just open up even more, and just all that robust flavor and smell just to permeate even more. So I always like adding a little bit of water to mine. Changes the dynamic. Yeah, so like that whole entire nose gate, if you will, of all that alcohol just burning, it's virtually gone now. So it just smells just pretty much like vanilla, oak, again, those baking spices, the pie spice, and honey. A lot more is going on now. You can even probably add more water to this. That probably diluted it to probably 95% or not even 90. You know what I mean? It just probably took off the edge. If you could probably water this down to 80% and you probably would lose a lot actually. So this might be let's find out. First thing that it lost, the most notable thing it lost, the entire mouthfeel, that lush, creamy, buttery mouthfeel is just gone now. It is watered down. So there are things you are sacrificing when you add to your, especially if you're a neat or whiskey with water kind of guy, or gal or person. You're going to lose a lot with adding water to Old Granddad Bonded when it comes to mouthfeel. Like the flavor is still there. Matter of fact, flavors are just as pronounced, but for me, I instantly miss that mouthfeel. Like I'm a sucker for like lush and like chewy. We refer to it in the industry as chewy, like a liquor that has a lot of texture and a lot of profile, if you will, going on. That's it lost a lot just with that splash of water. It lost a tremendous amount of it. I always thought it had vanilla cake notes on the nose. Yeah, very much so. For sure. The vanilla's there, and yeah, like it does have like a birthday, like a poor man's birthday cake essence to it. And so this is a really great bottle as well, because you can use it for all kinds of applications. Old fashions, a cocktail called a whiskey freezer, which essentially is a Tom Collins ratio, but with bourbon. And it's something that lasts on. I mean, depending on how much you drink, it will stay on your back bar for a couple of weeks. For a guy like me, a couple of weeks at least. But I tend to go more to the rum side of things. But when I want whiskey, and if I only had one whiskey on my back bar, it would absolutely be Old Granddad Bonded. It is just solid product. And it doesn't come. And then in the podcast, we actually go into detail about sourcing Nutri-Grain spirits to be taken to distilleries, to be added to barrels, to be aged, and why that is not a bonded bourbon. So check that. And so there's a lot of information on that as well. And then there's also a tremendous amount of information about just Old Granddad Bonded as a bottle and a brand. Duncan Hines. the best cake, the best pre-made cake out there. What the fudge? Did you see that? But we talked about it. We talked about it on the podcast that before Americans drank bourbon and whiskey. What the fudge? We drank and cognac. Cognac is a big part of our history, and then we drank rum. So maybe next week I'll do this again, and we'll talk about a little bit more about rum and pick a bottle and go into detail about that. I'm actually got to go pick up some things next week, so maybe I'll just pick up another bottle of Rum Fire, and we'll talk about Rum Fire next week. And to kind of tag along, maybe these virtual tastings can partner up with my podcast or whatever. I love telling y'all about this podcast. Y'all can't tell. So I really hope y'all check it out. Give me some 5-star reviews and some likes. Oh man, we are just powering through. I'm so excited that this is working out. How long have we been trying to do this? Ages. All right, so we're going to try to get to like the 45 minute mark. Might even go a little bit sooner. My computer's probably going to die soon, so let's go ahead and I'm going to just start getting ready to say my goodbyes. I appreciate you guys joining me for a little bit and talking about this bourbon and helping me work out the kinks for the virtual happy hour. Or excuse me, so we can set this all up for virtual happy hour. So this is great. This is a step forward for us. And please take some time to check out all those channels and be with us live at 5 this Friday on the same page, my Doug Blank page. Of course, we accept Venmo for Doug Blank. All the Venmo, all this money sent us to Venmo go to setting this up and to help this run smoothly and get even better. Without your guys' donations and help, we wouldn't even be right here doing this right now. So see, the fruits of our labor are being paid in full in ways. So or whatever, or how the expressions go. Great zip. Yeah. Thanks, Wiley. So cool. Woo! That's still pretty hot. Yes, check this out. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's hanging in there, having a good day, night. Hope it turns into a great weekend. Hopefully things get back to some kind of new normal sooner than later. And yeah, feel free to send me a DM, ask me any questions, or just leave in the comments below. Just reach out to me on any of my social media if you have any questions for any of this. I'm more than happy to answer them and help you out. So that said, we will see you guys. Yeah. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys this Friday live at 5 on the virtual happy hour. And this subject this week is pineapple. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Cheers.